A BLT sounds impossible to mess up. Bacon, lettuce and tomato. It's right there in the name. But simple is not always easy, and like many simple things, BLTs often go wrong. Mostly when the bacon curls up, tomatoes make the bread soggy, and when the whole sandwich falls apart after the second bite. But what if you could make a BLT that stayed crispy, juicy and perfectly balanced every single time? In this video, I'll show you 3 tricks that make the perfect BLT, and stick around till the end because I'll let you in on my secret to serve it in the most attractive way possible. Tomatoes are the heart of a BLT. As the great Kenji Lopez said, a BLT is a tomato sandwich seasoned with bacon. But there are 2 subtle problems that tomatoes cause. They taste bland if you don't season them well, and they make your BLT soggy, especially if you're eating them later on. Salting your tomatoes the right way fixes both of these problems. Let's talk about the blandness. Try this. Cut a thick slice of tomato and then further cut it into 2 halves. Season one with salt and leave the other as is. Now taste them. You'll notice a clear difference between the 2. Salting the tomatoes makes a world of difference in how they taste. Salt triggers your salivary glands to make more saliva, which means more flavor compounds from the tomatoes actually reach your taste buds. Salt also softens the bitterness, rounds the acidity, and somehow makes a tomato taste sweeter. As a great side effect, salt also draws out moisture from the cell walls of tomatoes by means of osmosis, leaving behind a less watery and more concentrated flavor and meaty texture. You can see this happen over time as they sit on a wire rack salted. To maximize this effect, salt and rest your tomatoes about 10 minutes before assembling your sandwich and dab them with a paper towel to pull out the drawn moisture. If you do this right, you will reap the flavor and texture benefits of cutting thick slices for your BLT. Of course, to get any of this right in the first place, you'll need good tomatoes. I recommend buying them from your local farmer's market rather than a supermarket. Supermarket tomatoes are plucked for shipping when they are underripe, and so they taste noticeably less superior in flavor than the ones that you buy from your local farmer's market. Now that you've understood how to prep your tomatoes, let's get to the bacon part of the fix. Look, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. When you add just a little water while cooking your bacon, it keeps the pan from scorching whilst still rendering fat from that bacon. Once the water evaporates, you're left with bacon frying in its own fat and crisping up evenly without burning up. It's so underrated how effective this technique is. Shout out to Lan Lam from 80K who I learned this from. Now, you can of course just use an oven or an air fryer to get the same results if you have the time and don't mind the extra cleanup that comes with it. Once your bacon looks deep red and crispy, let it rest on a wire rack to cool. This lets air circulate from all sides, making sure your bacon really crisps up. Avoid using a paper towel for resting. It traps heat, creates moisture, and results in soggy bacon. Now reserve that fat rendered by the bacon on your pan. We'll use this to toast our bread slices to maximize the flavor, which brings us to the next trick. Take 2 slices of any bread. I'm using shokupan, a Japanese-style milk bread. It's soft, slightly sweet, and toasts beautifully. You can use any sandwich bread, or even sourdough works equally well. Now, instead of butter, dip the bread in the bacon fat left behind in the pan. You don't need much, just let one side of each slice soak it up and give the other side just a gentle touch. The side that's coated more will be our interior. That's the one we'll toast deeply. It's going to make a great structure for your sandwich, giving you that crisp texture on the inside while keeping the outside soft and tender. If you toast both sides equally, the bread turns brittle and you lose that soft to crisp contrast that makes a BLT really satisfying. And when you apply mayonnaise on that crisp inner layer, it strengthens the moisture barrier because mayonnaise is fat and it naturally repels water from the tomatoes, keeping your bread from turning soggy. With that said, let's assemble the sandwich. To assemble, layer the well-toasted side of each slice with a thick coat of mayo. I'm using Kewpie mayonnaise because they taste so good. You can use whatever mayo you might have and brighten it up with a little addition of vinegar and a pinch of MSG. Fear not, MSG is the same naturally occurring glutamate molecule that makes Parmesan, soy sauce, and ripe tomatoes taste so good. It's safe, it's delicious, it's natural, and it's likely already in your favorite foods. I'm also adding a thin layer of that rendered bacon fat to boost the bacon flavor. Back to the assembly, load up exactly 1 layer of tomatoes on the mayo and add a dash of black pepper. Then add folded and snapped romaine hearts or shredded iceberg lettuce. Both taste equally good, I just happen to have romaine today. Finally, add bacon so that when you close the sandwich, the mayo on that second slice of bread will slather onto the bacon automatically. Now you can stack the sandwich in whatever order you feel right, but I feel this order of stacking works for a really good mouthfeel and a great texture. Once your sandwich is assembled, you can cut it right away for a cross-section reveal, or before cutting it open, wrap it up like a deli sandwich. Get out a parchment paper, lay it out like so, bring together two sides, roll them tight, and then tuck the adjacent ends underneath. It keeps the fillings locked in and makes your sandwich easier to eat without losing half your bacon to gravity. And then cut your sandwich for that winning cross-section reveal. You've got to take some time to appreciate the beautiful bacon, glossy tomatoes, crisp lettuce, and a golden crust in perfect visual harmony. It's one of those sandwiches that feel both indulgent and clean, every layer doing exactly what it is meant to. 3 small tricks, 1 perfect BLT sandwich. So go make it, and if you do, let me know in the comments below how it turned out. Now if you like this video, you will definitely like this next one that's popped up on your screen. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.